Hey everybody, and welcome to the BSP! And in this one we're going to be checking out the new podium vehicle, the Obey Tailgater S. As always, we're going to be looking at its exterior, its interior, the way it customizes in Los Santos Customs, and ultimately the goal of this video is to tell you if it's worth it. Now let's start with the 360 on the vehicle while I give you some facts about it. First off, this vehicle was released about 2 years ago in the middle of 2021. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny at $1.5 million for its regular price, and in terms of interactivity, this is what you can do with it. You can open, wait for it, all four doors, the hood and the trunk, and yep, that's German, alright. And speaking of German, this vehicle is based on the Audi RS3 sedan, of course, as you can see, and I gotta say, it's a pretty faithful representation of it. It's a really cool looking car, and I honestly have nothing bad to say about its exterior. But I wonder what the interior looks like. Only one way to find out. Jump in and see. And yeah, the interior is not really a highlight for this vehicle. It's kind of okay, but yeah, not Rockstar's best work. In terms of sound, bellissimo, as my French people would say. And now, let's do our scientific test to see what type of drivetrain we're dealing with here. And it should come to no surprise that, wait for it, it's, well actually this is surprising. I was expecting an all-wheel drive car, but apparently it's a rear-wheel drive car, so surprise, surprise! And with that, we're off to Los Santos Customs to see what we can customize on the Tailgater S. Not to be confused with the regular Tailgater, which is a completely different vehicle, and a much older one. Now, first impressions are that the vehicle feels quite slippery, so I understand the rear-wheel drive part. This is not my first time driving this. I've driven it, I believe, twice or 3 times before, but yeah, I don't remember anything about it, so yeah, thanks, memory. In terms of handling, handles very nicely, as the only issue is the handling, you know, slipperiness, because it's a rear-wheel drive car, but everything else seems very nice. Brakes, really good. And something that I didn't mention before is that this vehicle is part of the sedans category, and I believe in that category somewhere near the top. But yeah, that's my impressions of the stock version of the vehicle. Now let's see what we can customize on it. And as mentioned before, this vehicle is a sedan. And in case you're wondering how much money you can sell it for, well, $10,000 give or take. So that's, honestly, that's not that bad. Moving on to upgrades, and since this was part of the Los Santos Tuners DLC, we can customize a lot of things. But first, we're going to be focusing on the performance, so we don't forget anything at the end. So let's see now, transmission, I definitely want to do that. And turbo, and we are good to go. Front bumper options. Here are all the front bumper options for the Tailgater S. And I'm not really a big fan of splitters. And yeah, the front bumper options seems like it only includes splitters for some reason. So let's just go with the carbon one and move on to the actual rear bumper. And those are real bumpers, kind of like that. Although they are kind of only changing the color of the bumper, which is incredibly lazy, but well, it's modern Rockstar for you. Now let's see, I think like so what's the difference between this one and this one? I legitimately see, oh, maybe the fins on the side. Do you see that? The fins right behind the tires? Well, that definitely cost $15,000. Okay, so what's the difference between this one and yeah, you know what? I like the stock one, so we're keeping that. Ooh, we can why would you want to do this to your vehicle? Moving on, we can modify the engine, and by modify the engine I mean customize the engine compartment. This is something that I'm not gonna be doing, but in case you want to blow $100,000 to $200,000 on something that's completely irrelevant to the game and to the performance of the vehicle, be my guest. Ooh, struts. Now we can also do the intercooler, which is something that's actually kind of useful in terms of that it's at least visible on the outside. But yeah, I'm not gonna even do that. Exhaust. We can change the exhaust, of course, and let's see. Do we have something here that I like? Kind of like those. Maybe. What's the difference between this one and this one? Oh, one is supposed to be carbon, even though for some reason I can't move the camera. There we go. Nope, can't move the camera. Thank you, game. Okay, so one is carbon, the other one isn't. Yeah, let's go with the carbon option. And fenders. That's an interesting choice. I guess we're gonna be... Wow, that's ugly. Let's just go with the carbon bolt-on fenders and move to the hood. Hood catches. Of course, we can do one of those for an obscene amount of money. Let's just go with this one. Hood. Kind of like that. Actually, I like that one better. Or maybe that one. Yeah, I gotta say, the hoods on this vehicle are really good. Ooh, this reminds me of an M car. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think I prefer this one. So let's go with that. Interior. Since this was a part of the Los Santos Tuners DLC, we can customize the entire interior, which I feel is incredibly pointless. But in case you're into that type of thing, you can customize a lot of things in here. I, however, am not gonna do that. Liveries. Here are all the livery options we can choose from, and Rockstar was nice enough to give us the black ray stripes livery, but in case that one is doesn't tickle your fancy, you can choose different ones. I personally am gonna go with the none option, because I don't really like liveries. Ooh, like the carbon mirrors, so we're gonna be putting those on. For some reason we can put mud flaps on the vehicle, which is something that I will not be doing. We can delete the front license plate, which honestly I really appreciate. And we can make the rear one yellow and black, which is again something that I appreciate. Respraying the vehicle, it's something that we're going to be doing at the end of our stay at Los Santos Customs. Now let's see what stupid thing we can put on the top of the vehicle. Something that should be mentioned is that the only visual customization that has any impact on the performance of the vehicle is the spoiler, which is something that we haven't done so far. I think I want to go with the carbon roof. Side skirts. Yeah, those are side skirts, alright. Really lazy side skirts. Yeah, those are definitely lazy. Let's go with this one. Spoiler! As mentioned before, only visual component that has any impact on the traction of the vehicle, the performance of it. So keep that in mind in case you want to upgrade your spoiler. Now let's see. So far, I gotta say the customization options are incredibly bland. Yes, there are 30 different spoilers, but it's more like 10 different spoilers with different color options for them, and I gotta say most of them look kind of the same. Like, what's the difference between this one and this one? It's kind of minimalistic. Speaking of minimalistic, I think I want to go with the most minimalistic one. Too bad, by the way, that we don't have an integrated tail light, or brake light I should say, in the spoiler itself. That could have been cool, and kind of a missed opportunity there, Rockstar. Thanks for that. Let's go with this one, because as I said, I wanted to keep things minimalistic. Maybe go with the primary sunstrip this time. Let's see how it turns out. Suspension, we can slam the vehicle to the ground. Oh, that's just too much. Let's go with the lower suspension, just a little bit. The trunk. Interesting. We can make the trunk carbon as well. In this case, let's change the spoiler. Whoops, I meant to do that. Did I just blow $10,000 on literally nothing? I'm stupid. The wheels, I actually kind of like those, so we're going to be keeping them. The window tint, well, there's too much carbon on this vehicle not to put limo tint on, so let's just go with it. And it's time to respray the vehicle, and as always, I asked you guys, the viewers of the Bullshit Party, what color do you want me to make the vehicle in the video you're watching right now. And for this week, you had a pretty simple choice to make. Yellow or purple. And guess what? We are going to be making it purple. And as always, thank you so much to everybody that voted on the poll, and hopefully you'll like the results of the vehicle. If not, there's something wrong with you, because this looks incredible in my opinion. Now let's see secondary color. There is no secondary color. Okay, moving on. Trim color. Ooh, maybe make this one purple as well, or maybe make it red. Candy red, that's the one. Accent. This is something that I'm completely never gonna see, so I'm not even gonna bother. The crew emblem on, and we are out of here. And yes, I was probably able to change the tire design and maybe the wheel color, but I actually kind of like metallic rims, so yippee. In terms of the way the vehicle performs after fully upgrading and modifying it, I gotta say, so far it's well, the acceleration is better. Keep in mind that the vehicle was already very good, in my opinion, for its class. One thing that I'm noticing immediately, that it's become more slipperier. Sorry about that. Yep, it definitely has become slipperier, which is not great if you want to drive in a straight line, but great if you want to drift, I guess. Yeah, this one was it came out in a weird time for GT Online. The Los Santos Tuners DLC, I don't feel like Rockstar even knew what they wanted to do with it. So yeah, this vehicle really I can't speak today for some reason. Really reflects that. It's you know, the old saying, jack of all trades but a master of none. This vehicle really is that. As you saw, you had a lot of customization options, but more of them were just recolors of other ones, and let's face it, most of them looked exactly the same. Really disappointing for me that you can't customize the front bumper, even though you have a front bumper option, but it should have been called the front splitter option, because you are only able to modify and customize the splitter, which is really a shame, because imagine if you could open, for example, the entire grille, or make it metallic, or just change the what do you call the pattern, maybe remove the logo, maybe do something with the headlights, I don't know. And speaking of the headlights, those are kind of cool, but yeah, definitely not the best feature of the vehicle. All in all, do I recommend buying this for $1.5 million? No, never, not in a million years. Do I recommend you getting it for free from the Lucky Wheel Podium vehicle? Honestly, it's a... In terms of performance, it's a very good vehicle, don't get me wrong, but there's just something missing. The soul of the vehicle is just not in it. It's honestly, that's the best description that I can ever give it. It feels soulless. And even right now, look at it, it's hovering over the ground. See how the wheels, the tires aren't touching the ground itself? There is just something wrong with this vehicle, and do I recommend getting it for free? No, you're wasting a garage space. Just, you know what? Get it for free and sell it for $10,000. You'll be better off. And I believe with that, we are going to be ending the video. Thank you so much to everybody that watched. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one. And I'm legitimately going to sell this thing now, and probably the other two that I have. Money!